What is good, YouTube? It's your boy KB of Trucking Transparency, and I'm back again with another video. So I just got my 4th check on Friday, the Friday that just passed last week, and I didn't even realize that I've been with this carrier so far for a month. So that month snuck up on me so quick when I tell you that was the fastest 30 days that ever passed me. So that just let me know I needed to make a 30-day video. Just my overall experience of everything I've been through, everything I learned, and just put that out there in the video. Again, y'all, my channel is to be transparent as possible and to share as much information as I can put out there from one trucker to another. I'm already going through this experience already, so if you are contemplating coming and being an owner-operator, so my videos can help you get to where you need to be quicker, or just give you some food for thought on a couple things, then that's even better for me. So I got 5 things that I felt like I learned in this 30 days. And again, y'all, I ain't no brand new trucker, been driving for about 6-7 years now. So some of these things you would think that I would have already known. And so one thing I realized, this ain't even gonna be in the 5, but one thing I do realize is you can feel like you know everything in the world, but it's still a lot more to learn. You never would know everything truly. You will always have a lot more that you could potentially learn. So that's how it is with trucking. And going from a company driver to an owner operator, you can kind of try to take some of the things and apply it, but there's a lot of stuff that's different. And I learned that. I'm thinking that everything's gonna be the same. The only difference is gonna be now I pay for everything. But it's a lot deeper than just paying for things that makes it different. You know what I mean? So that's the biggest part of it, don't get me wrong, but it's just different. It's overall, it's just completely different. So let's get started with these 5 things that I learned in this last 30 days. So the number 1 thing I learned is you gotta watch how you spend your money. So as soon as you jump in and you go from company to an owner operator, the temptation is there. I'm not gonna lie to you. You go from bringing home $900, $800 every week as a company driver, and then you jump straight out there and you start making $3,200, $4,700, $5,000, whatever it is that you can make as an owner operator. The transition is insane. You feel like you're one of the richest people in the world. And 30 days in, the temptation was there immensely. Like, it was so many times I said, well, shit, now I can go buy this or I can buy that. Even big things, small things, big things, just knowing that I make a lot more money, the temptation is so, I'm talking about every day, you had that mindset like, well, should I make more money? Like, even if you go in Walmart and you just buy something that costs $50, you know, you will be like, damn, this $50, I could have did something with this $50. But because you make a little bit more money, you always constantly telling yourself, oh, I make more money now. I can get it now. I make more money. You also still have to be mindful on how you're spending your money, because at the end of the day, every dollar counts, and you are your own business. So you don't got that extra corporate to look after you if something go wrong. If something go wrong, it's on you. So, and even though you're gonna go in separating your personal money from your business money, you still just want to be careful to make sure you don't overspend on your personal side, so you don't find yourself digging in on your business side. So that's the number 1 thing that I could definitely put out there that I've realized in this first 30 days is you gotta be careful how you spend your money. All right, guys, so the second thing, it pretty much piggyback off of the first thing. Now, the second thing is keep your overhead as low as possible. again, the temptation is gonna be there. You're going from making one amount to a much larger amount. Now you feel like, oh, it's not gonna hurt if I add in another $200 bill. It's not gonna hurt if I add in this new car note, this new $500-$600 bill. I make 3 more times the money. I can go and get this brand new Hellcat, or I can go get this brand new Lexus. But at the same time, going to put those larger bills in between what you really need to be doing can add up, and it adds up quick. And then the bad thing about it is the money in trucking, 1 week you're gonna be up here, and then the next week you're gonna be down here. But the temptation is so great within your first 30 days of this transition to go out and add overhead. It's insane. You're gonna want to do it so bad because all you can see is you're making so much more money. But I'm telling you, if you could just hold off, just give it time, see how consistent those checks are. Because like I said, when you're jumping out here, it may look good the first week, the first 2 weeks, but at some point you're gonna have a good week and you're gonna have a bad week. So what happens is on those weeks that now you done had a bad week, but you done added 3-4 bills in from when you was having good weeks, those bills gonna keep coming. Especially if it's bills like a car note or something that's gonna continue to come every month. Now you can find yourself struggling to keep up with that extra $600-$700 car note. You know what I'm saying? And things change. One thing about trucking, it fluctuates a lot. And that's one thing I don't really like about trucking, but that's a whole nother video. But it fluctuates. You can feel like the richest man today, and then in a week you can find yourself wondering how the hell you gonna make it through. So that's the second thing I'll say, is just keep your overhead as low as possible for how long you possibly can. Like, all right, YouTube, so the third piece of advice that I can give out from just this 30 days is, if you see something going on with your truck, fix it immediately. I don't care if it's something that's this small. If you feel like it's something that's this small, do not try your hardest to tell yourself, I ain't gonna worry about it, I'll get it done then, I'll get it done then. Now if it's I'll get it done when I get off, or I get it done tomorrow, that's cool. But just try everything in you to stay on top of your maintenance. If a check engine light comes on, figure out why it's on, get it fixed. If you notice one of your tires is low, get a new tire, go get it, whatever. If you feel like recaps is cool, do that. But whatever it is going on with your truck, get it fixed immediately. Just stay on top of the maintenance of your truck. Just like I showed y'all, I vlogged a video where I had a little shake. Now, to clear that up, guys, the shake I had on this truck was so minimal. Most of y'all probably would have just dealt with it. You know what I'm saying? But for me, I had just got this truck. So it was more like a scare for me, because I'm thinking this could be anything. I started doing a lot of research, and I think I psyched my own self out, you know what I'm saying? Started doing research, people saying it's probably a draft shaft, or it's probably this, or it's probably that. But that's all that was on my mind. Like, I just wanted to get to the bottom of what the actual cost was. Now, luckily, I was able to get that straight by just balancing the tires. So for those of you, because I never really made a video about that, whatever happened with that. So my apologies to you all. But when I had that shake on the truck, I balanced the tires, and that did fix the issue. But like I said, the third piece of advice that I can give out is stay on top of your maintenance. If you see something, if you smell something, if you feel something, if you hear something, if something doesn't sound right, get it looked at and get it fixed ASAP. Guys, now this fourth piece of advice that I'm gonna put out here from this first 30 days, this may vary just depending on what kind of job you're doing and if you're working with people or whatever. But for me, when I go in, it's a group of us. It's kind of like 100 of us. So you're gonna see other drivers. You got competition. It's just other drivers there that's trying to get the same thing you're trying to get, the best load. So this fourth piece of advice is be careful what you tell another driver. Drivers will walk up to you, walk up to your truck, shake your hand, introduce themselves. All of that's cool, but just be mindful. Y'all are out for the same thing. Y'all come here for the same thing. A lot of guys is shiesty. A lot of guys will go right up under you. You could tell a dude what route you like, how much money you making on that route, and they would go in the dispatch office. They would literally talk to the dispatcher and try to snake you out of that route. So if it's something that you're comfortable with doing, something that you like doing, do not go around and tell the whole terminal what you're doing, how you got on it, how long you've been doing it. Keep it to yourself. Everybody is out here for the same reason, and they will snake you. A lot of drivers will snake you out of your money. At the end of the day, we all got that one thing in common, and that's to try to get paid. So just keep this. Don't let a whole bunch of people in on what it is that you're doing. Everybody ain't your friend. Everybody don't care about how your day going. They trying to get the information from you for their own financial gains. They're not your friend. And don't get me wrong, but just be careful what you tell them. Like you can be cool or whatever, but don't get them all the beans. All right, guys, and the last and final thing that I could tell you all for my first 30 days as being an owner operator is do your due diligence. I don't care if it take you 4 months and looking at a carrier. Study a carrier, ask drivers questions that you see at that carrier, look up Indeed reviews on that carrier, Google reviews on that carrier. Try to find out as much about the specific carrier that you're gonna lease on to. Maybe if you know somebody that works there, that's even better, because now you got a real insider from the company who can give you real information. Companies are kind of like drivers. They got one thing in mind, and that's to figure out who can do the route for them the best. So who could do the route for them and be the most reliable. They're not your friend. They're not gonna come hug you every morning. If this driver can do it better than that driver, they're gonna put this driver on it. So just know, every carrier is completely different. Every carrier is not the same. But what they all tend to do is put out the good in themselves. You know what I mean? They all throw out how much they pay, where they go, off weekends, off this days, choose this, choose that. But when you get there, it's not the same. It's almost never gonna be how they made it sound. So if you can one-up them by doing as much research as you can and save yourself, because it costs a lot to switch carriers, but sometimes it could be a transition, and sometimes you can end up going somewhere that place is even worse than the place you was at. Then you go somewhere else, then that place, now you're over the road, and you never home. And now it's like you done went all the way around the block, when all you really had to do was know, if you had done a little bit of research on where you went initially, that wasn't the place for you to go to begin with. So that's my 5th piece of advice. Just make sure you do the research on the carrier. Now, you're never gonna find everything you need to know. Some stuff when you lease on, you're gonna find it out then. But of course, the smaller things usually don't matter unless it's a lot of them. When it becomes to that point, then that's when you know, okay, this may not be the place. But sometimes just a little research can go a long way, and it'll help you out in the long term. So that's my 5th piece of advice to you guys. Just make sure you do some research on that company. All right, YouTube, so that's pretty much all I got for this video right here. Like I said, this is a little short video. I'm off today, so I was just thinking of some content I can make, and that was one of them. Just giving out some advice for the new potential owner operators that's trying to come out here and get your own equipment. Again, y'all, if y'all have any questions that you do not want to ask me in the comment section, do not hesitate to email me. I get back the emails as quickly as possible, usually within a few hours, really, because it comes straight to my phone. So do not hesitate to email me. I will put my email here somewhere on the screen. One more thing, I see a lot of guys in my comment section still asking me, how's my carrier going, how's everything going at the carrier. Everything is going all right, you know what I mean? Let's just say that. I'm gonna leave that right there. for obvious reasons. I will do a review on all of that, and one of these videos coming soon. Everything is everything. We'll get into that in a later video. For the most part, I'll say about 75% is exactly what they told me it was going to be from the start, and what I looked up and I realized that it would be. The other 25% is kind of way off, but like I said, I can't really speak too much on that for obvious reasons. It's not a bad carrier, it's just that some things not what it was. Now again, in March, we will start doing 2 loads. Like I told y'all, right now we only doing 1. In March we will start doing 2 loads, and we're gonna kind of just hope that things get just a little bit better. You know what I mean? But I'll keep you guys updated along this entire journey. Again, it's y'all boy Trucking Transparency, or K-Von, KB, whatever you want to call me. Until the next video, I'm out.